Nearly 4 months now after crews had reinstalled the Ten Commandments monument on the Capitol grounds, the Satanic Temple came back with their own statue.
The group's rally for the First Amendment brought Satanists, Christians, even the KKK to the Capitol steps. Scarecrow Jess joining us now live with the message in all of this. Jess?
Yeah, Bob and Ashley, while some were there to protest today, different beliefs mostly came together to say all or none. If the Ten Commandments get to sit on Capitol grounds, so do the statues of their representative religions. Now, the tone did remain respectful. Groups who came up to speak from all different backgrounds were even thanking each other for showing up, except when a Satanist wasn't happy with what a Christian minister was preaching.
I love you too.
Demons in hell, you're a liar, you're a fake, you're a phony.
So you could hear the crowd obviously was not pleased with what he was saying and did support law enforcement escorting the man out. The Baphomet statue sat in the center of the rally, but comments about the lawmaker who spearheaded the push to bring the Ten Commandments to the Capitol took center stage.
Senator Rapert will tell you that our monument is an attack upon Christianity. But then Senator Rapert also once described a gay pride parade as one of the most offensive displays against Christians in an attempt to intimidate people who believe in the Word of God.
It's all about the fake. It's all about the slur. It's all about the slander from these people. They're not serious, and they're not even real.
Hail Satan!
Rapert reiterates how Lucian Greaves, who you just heard from, isn't the man's real name. Rapert says the Christian minister, who you just saw too, has also not identified as a preacher before and was actually planning to run for office against him. The Satanic Temple is now seeking a court order to require the state to install the Baphomet statue on Capitol grounds. Live at the state capitol, I'm Jesse Tenor.
But God came and designed each person for more than that. He designed us for eternity. He designed us to live with Him in heaven for eternity.
What if I said that heaven sounds boring to me? Heaven, worshiping someone 24/7, that's in the words of Christopher Hitchens, the celestial North Korea is what that is.
And your views may be so.
Yeah.
But you see, here's what I see. I believe what I believe about Christianity. And if I die today and I'm wrong,
yeah,
I've lost nothing.
Pascal's wager, absolutely.
But
if you die
today believing what you believe and I am right, you've lost everything. You're going to spend eternity in a place called hell. You know, could you imagine?
At least I'll be in good company though, right?
No, you won't be. You'll probably be the next meal when they barbecue you. If I was to set you...
I'm from Arkansas.
It's a shame in this day and age that we find ourselves so often here at our Capitol rallying over these issues like church and state separation, women's reproductive rights, civil rights. It's quite a shame that we're having to do this. We find ourselves here because our elected officials, who may have been voted in by 50.1% of their district, they've failed and forgotten to recognize that upon taking that office, they then represent 100% of that district. Citizens of the U.S., they may have the right to practice whichever religion they choose, and in my case, no religion at all. Our government's secular approach means that the government shouldn't promote or inhibit any one or more religions over others. It's an all or nothing scenario in order to remain constitutional. The Ten Commandments, it has a place. I'm not here to protest that monument, but I'm here to talk about the importance of the First Amendment in relation to that monument, as well as others, for example, who may want to have one here. I carry my Bible with me everywhere I go. I pray before every meal. My daughter goes to a private Christian school. No agent of the government has ever shown up to lock me up or find me. It's the weirdest thing. It's almost like that Christian persecution doesn't exist. I mean,
That's because of the free exercise clause. We can all freely practice whatever religious system we choose to. That's the beauty of the First Amendment. And I know a lot of conservative Christians don't like others having religious freedom. It's kind of like those of you who have kids. You have kids that don't like to share their toys. It's very much the same thing. They think that equal rights for others means less rights for them. That's not how it works.
As future generations turn their backs on antiquated doctrines and dogmas that propagate hatred in the name of love, we as Satanists and members of the LGBT community find ourselves gaining ground in the struggle for our religious and civil rights. We cannot afford to give an inch to those who have already taken too much. If interest in exclusionary spiritual ideals wanes and people abandon their faith, it's no one's fault but your own. For excluding and condemning a large portion of the population that just want to live an authentic life of happiness and be free from oppression while harming no one. You reject them and we accept them. If your religious faith condemns your friends and family to a place of eternal damnation for who they love, then you don't deserve them. We will find other families, we will find other friends, we will find other religions, and many of us have in the Satanic Temple. If LGBTQ folks are turning to Satan, the responsibility rests at least partially on your shoulders. The superstitious have always made devils out of those they despise. Don't be so foolish to expect us not to be the best damn devils we can be. Ave Satanas. Hail Satan!
Did not bring Baphomet here in hopes of replacing the Ten Commandments monument. It is not the purpose of our monument or our efforts to erect this monument to impugn or silence the beliefs of others. Despite what you have probably heard, the truth is the Satanic Temple never asked for the Ten Commandments monument to be taken down, nor do we ask that Baphomet be erected to the exclusion of any other monuments of religious significance. What we are asking for is only that the public square, these Capitol grounds, remain an area in which free speech, religious liberty, and equality under the law be respected by the holders of public office who swore to uphold those values. This is not a protest against the Ten Commandments. This is not a protest of Satanists against Christians. This is not a protest of secularists against believers. This is a rally for reason in the face of prejudice, progress in the face of decline, liberty in the face of rising theocracy, and toleration in the face of infantile tribalisms. Theocrats like Senator Rapert, and by their spineless failure to check Rapert's unconstitutional behavior, the majority of the Arkansas government as well, would see us return to dark age feudalism where autocrats would demand fealty and tolerance for alternative views would be viewed as collusion with enemies of the state. But the progress of civilization won't be stopped, and once better ways are seen and accepted, they cannot be unseen and forgotten, even as we must fight against attempted roadblocks placed in our path. The progress of humanity and the rights revolutions are clear, but we need to stand up now if we wish to see this progress fully realized in our lifetimes. We need to fight back against encroaching theocracy and refuse to be silenced when petty peddlers of fear and superstition slowly reduce our rights while expanding their own. We need to look them in the face and tell them that we will not submit and that we will fight them every step of the way. We represent Enlightenment values, universal values of tolerance, scientific inquiry, and personal autonomy. These are human values. If would-be theocrats are to oppose these values with hostility, while we as Satanists are sworn to uphold them, and as these values continue to win the day and define civilized ethics, the Christianity created by theocrats in opposition to humanity will breed revolt and will swell the ranks of Satanists worldwide in unity for a new enlightenment. If Christianity abandons liberal democracy, it will have forfeited the future to Satan. To which I say, Hail Satan.
Standing court precedent is that we have the right to honor the Ten Commandments as the historical and moral foundation of law, and we did so in Arkansas, and I have faith in the Attorney General to defend us in any court. Just in case there's any kind of discrepancy, let me tell you, they often state false claims. It just so happens the very first page of the response from the Attorney General to a motion from the Satanic Temple states this: the Satanic Temple is a notoriously transparent front for trolling pranksters who have already demonstrated flagrant contempt for this court by filing a motion to intervene using unacknowledged, fake, and ambiguous names, by filing a proposed complaint that includes purposely vulgar sexual double entendre, and by drawing attention to that vulgarity on social media. The proposed complaint further reflects a sham and a frivolity, and it fails to meet the proposed intervener's burden to clearly allege facts demonstrating any element of standing. Mr. Greaves is not even, that's not even his real name. His name is Doug Messner. As a matter of fact, he had a warrant for his arrest in the state of Mississippi for performing a lewd act over a grave in the state of Mississippi. But the bottom line is that their attacks on me personally, which they've made it very personal towards me. I'll stand right up here and be strong about my values when I defend the laws of this state and defend the values of this country and the people that I represent. But I will tell you that Act 1231 is not my bill. Act 1231 is a law duly passed by the state of Arkansas, signed by the governor. It speaks for itself. And all of their attacks against me as an ordained minister before I ever was elected to office, those really would not even, they wouldn't be tolerated by a lot of people if we were talking about other folks. But somehow they think they have open season to attack Christian people in this country, Christian legislators in this country. People have had enough of this. And this is one of the reasons why I'm proud to serve the good people of Arkansas and make sure that the kind of people that came into our state today aren't the ones that actually rule and reign over us. We'll just say it like we do here in Arkansas. These folks came in, they said what they wanted to do, and they've made fun of our values here in this state, but it'll be a very cold day in hell before we're ever forced to put up a monument, especially a monument to some profane figure like they brought in. It'll be a very cold day in hell. We're not going to do it. This country and this state is going to stand up for our values, and we did. And I'm very proud to have sponsored the Ten Commandments Monument, and I believe that Act 1231 speaks for itself.